Oof. This video was supposed to be the beginning of a nice 2-week-long relaxing stretch. Things started off pretty good.
Really amazing.
We had several days of total relaxation, but then all I can say is the crap hit the fan. So you're gonna want to stick around till the end of this video, but we're gonna back up to where things were nice and chill. Hi, puppy. You smell my kitties?
Alright, let's just take a little look. A little look-see.
Hello.
The warning saying that malaria is yeah, but I don't know one thing. One thing was a thing. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. It is about 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. And to be completely honest with you guys, we have been at this camp for 4 nights. And we didn't do any vlogging. We didn't do anything. We were editing. We were relaxing. We're so happy we've been able to slow back down and travel in our normal slow style now that we've made it through West Africa. I just want to pop in here real quick and give a big thank you to the sponsor of this video, which is Arilo. Now, if you've been following our journey for a while, you may already know that we have crossed into 50 different countries in our camper van. And crossing a border into a new country can be intimidating for sure. In fact, I like to call it the border butterflies. But one thing that can help take some stress off of that right away is to be connected to the internet on your phone, just like you are when you're at home. That way you can do things you need to do, like currency conversion, translation of a foreign language, find a campsite, get transportation from the airport to your hotel, just the basic necessities of travel. Arilo is the world's first eSIM company that allows you to buy digital SIM cards called eSIMs in over 200 countries or regions around the world through an easy-to-use app. And it's already being used by over 20 million travelers. As full-time travelers, we have tried many different phone plans and strategies over the years. But for the last 2 years, we have been using the Arilo app and eSIM plans for countries that we visit, including a regional plan for Europe, parts of Africa, and even Bosnia. It works perfectly for us, and we think it'll work for any travelers, long-term, full-time, or just normal vacationers. The app makes it super easy to choose your destination, set up your eSIM, and have everything ready before you even leave for your trip. And then, when you get to your destination, your eSIM plan will automatically kick in. And the data is super affordable. You can install Arilo free today, so you can stay connected wherever you travel. And you can use our code SNC3 to get $3 off your first eSIM. Arilo is actually designed for travelers. You can buy an eSIM for a specific country, a region, or you can even buy a world eSIM that works globally. And then you're all set for anywhere you may want to travel. So download the free Arilo app today. Use the code SNC3 to save $3 off your first eSIM in advance, and then activate it when your trip begins. But this is a river camp. I can't pronounce the name of it, so we'll put it on the screen. But each one of these campsites has its own little palapa building, its own little building here. Inside, you've got a sink, a kitchen area, your own refrigerator, which is really nice. And you can plug in, so there's plenty of power. So if it's raining or it's sunny, you've got shade. and there are just birds everywhere. The cats have absolutely loved it. They've had walks every day. Vanna sits on the dash and just watches these birds from everywhere. Now, I caught a glimpse of an otter the other day, but they're too fast. If I was going to get him, I would have had to have the camera on. But he popped his little head up right out here. And from what we understand, when the river's not quite too high, you can see lots of crocodiles here. And hippos swim by from time to time. We are very close to the hippo region of Namibia. You can also take boat tours with the owner, Dion, who is really nice. And just like every campsite we've seen so far here in Namibia, you have your own personal braai or fire pit / grill. But beautiful shade trees. You don't have a private bathroom and shower here. You kind of share this with maybe 3 other sites. There's a couple of these bathroom blocks scattered around. So you've got a shower here with some nice hot water and then a toilet in here. It's been a super cool camp. We had dinner up at the restaurant one night, which is right up there, some truffle lasagna, which was delicious. And then last night we sat up there with Dion, the owner, for a while, had a couple of cocktails and just shared stories. But if you're coming up to this region of Namibia, this is a campsite you should put on your list because it's just beautiful with the river right here and all the bird noises. So they're getting ready for a big holiday weekend, so we could only get reservations through the weekend. So Curt is packing up the van, unplugging us, bumping his head on the palapa, and we're going to hit the road. I think we got to go up to a small little town and find the local grocery store and restock. And then we're headed to another campsite up here where, from what we understand, there's a waterfall. He's like, oh crap, they split. Oh, they're not supposed to go over there. Look at him hustling.
He's holding up his breeches.
So right now we're riding along a graded road. We're headed east out in this little panhandle area of Namibia.
The Caprivi.
Yeah, and over here to the left of us is our camp was on a river called I think it's the Kobando River, and it runs through here. And it looks kind of like a delta, like a marsh. It's kind of spread out and created over here to the left. To the right, a mile or so, will be the main road. So soon up here we'll turn off of this gravel road and hopefully get back on some pavement. We've got about an hour until our grocery store. But you can tell it's a Saturday morning. All the locals are out and about. They're walking their cows to get some grass. The kids are gathering water, and it's supposedly a holiday weekend here in Namibia, so hopefully they're just preparing for a little bit of a good time, right, Curt?
Yep.
But the graded road, we've been spoiled here in Namibia with the really good roads, so the graded chattery road is not the perfect way to start our morning drive. But we're still not complaining because although it's chattery, there are no potholes. Good morning. If you have been following our journey for the past few months or so, then you know that we had a tough overlanding adventure through West Africa. And when we got to Namibia, we slowed down.
Laid back.
And over the past I don't know. I guess we're on 6 days now. We've been pretty chill. We've been hanging in our van. We've been grilling on the braais that they have at all the campsites here.
Got the camp chairs out, enjoying the nature.
We are. Right now, we are parked at a campground inside of a national park for Popa Falls. And right over there is the bathroom and shower block. At this campsite, you don't have your private one, but you don't share it with more than maybe 6 other campsites. There's power, drinking water, and a plug-in at each campsite. And you book in advance online. We found it on iOverlander, and it's nice. Not much for wildlife here. I think it's more about the waterfall, but to tell you the truth, we haven't seen it yet.
And I also think it's sort of a launching pad to go on some self-drives at some really cool national parks in the area. Spoiler alert.
Yes. So we're not going to just lay around here for the next 2 or 3 days. We're going to do something.
But we are going to lay around some.
We are doing some laying around, and I'm sorry that you guys are stuck hanging out with us while we're literally just chilling out. But that's part of van life. It's part of traveling full time, not having to go full speed all the time. And we really missed that on that 4-month trek through West Africa. So we might be overdoing it a little bit here in Namibia for the first few weeks here. But we did manage to pull ourselves away from the campsite. We're taking the short walk to go see this waterfall, and we think there's a restaurant up there. So let's go, guys.
How you doing? They got a big barbecue grill on that one.
Getting me some vitamin D. Curt doesn't like vitamin D as much as I do.
It's not that I don't like it, it's my bald head can't take it.
I forgot you.
All right, Snow got a little chicken wrap. Now I got a little sauteed pan-fried fish. And of course the kitties.
Coming to visit. Not our kitties, the campsite kitties. What's going on out here, Curty?
Get a fire going.
Are you gonna cook on the fire?
About to cook some steaks on the grill.
Oh,
On the braai.
I better get my jacket and my shoes. I'm gonna have to go outside and sit in our chairs. Doesn't take too long to you get used to this braai culture, does it, Curt?
No, these braais are pretty good, pretty easy. Nice wood, little fire setup. Get her cranked up. Good food, good times in the nature.
Good old campsite number 5. Fire. So, something you need to know about Namibia. Meat is pretty cheap at the grocery store. Do you remember what these steaks cost, Curt?
These were 40 Namibian for nice big, these are ribeyes.
So 40 in Namibia.
And 100 Namibian is $5.
So $2
So $2.50, $2, something like that.
for these giant steaks. So we're enjoying that. After,
And these are probably 8-ounce steaks, I'm guessing.
yeah, and they're really good. And then Curt sliced a couple of little sections of purple cabbage and put it on the grill. It's not even a grill. The braai, I'm sorry, I gotta use the right terminology. How is that cabbage?
It's good. I never had it that way.
Well, there you go. Grilled steaks, grilled $2.50 steak, and grilled purple cabbage. That's what's for dinner. We are enjoying the braai culture here in Namibia. Another day of relaxing, guys. We'll see y'all in the morning. I think we might go on an adventure tomorrow. We'll see.
Woohoo! All right, guys. This is Bwabwata National Park. Bwabwata. And I just got instructions. Now, there are 3 parks that you can enter in Bwabwata. This one is the Buffalo Core area. So guess what? The Cape Buffalo, which we have not seen yet. So that's the last of the big 5.
Yeah, we've seen 4 of the big 5, so maybe this finishes it off for Namibia.
But there are lions, there are hippos, there are other stuff, but this is the nature. If we'll see them or not, we don't know. Another area is the Mahango area, which is over by our campsite at Popa Falls.
Okay.
And then there's a third one, and when we leave tomorrow, we'll pass that on the main road. And she said that's going to be a good place to see the wild dogs, which are endangered. Also leopards.
No.
And possibly cheetahs.
Oh, God, okay.
Now, we're not going to see all these parks in one day. We're going to do Buffalo and see how it goes. So you guys are along for the ride. We're going to make it up as we go along. So let's go see some wildlife.
And we are doing a self-drive safari, which means no guide. We are on our own, freestyling it, looking for buffalo.
Which means coffee in hand and cameras on dash.
Let's go. Watch out for lions today. Everybody be careful.
Look at their fight. They just locked horns. Yeah.
It's on.
Well, they just don't want to stop. Practicing. This one's gonna walk right in front of us.
We spotted a group of impala as soon as we came in the park. Not that far down the road, we found some kudus, which is a little bit larger deer with the cool stripes on them. And we spotted a lot of babies and some mamas and one big guy. We weren't really able to get him. What do you see over there, Curt?
It's a warthog.
Oh, nice.
See him look at
Yeah.
Get the camera on him.
Yeah, sometimes they're quick and hard to spot. But we got to see, hopefully the footage turns out, of a baby kudu drinking some milk from his mama. Curt's gonna try to get the warthog right now. He froze. We got a chance. They're so ugly, they're cute. But we haven't even gone 1,000, well, maybe 1,500 feet. But we got to get deeper down into this park and see if we can find some of the big stuff.
We are having a magical experience with these kudos. And when we first got in the park, we spotted one, and I got a great look at the male. And I couldn't get the camera out fast enough. But on the other side of the road, Snow had the mama with the baby just suckling, and she got a great shot of the baby interacting with the mama. And as we pulled forward, we got some more mamas and babies, and really, really beautiful. In fact, some of the babies still have their spots, and just really gorgeous creatures, but we didn't get the male until just now. And in a lot of places, the bush is just really, really thick. But I think I was able to get this guy, and he's got the big black curly horns, and his face coloration is so bright and clear and distinct. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animal. And we just say we're able to watch him a little bit. And the cool thing is when you see him, they're there with their families. And so you get the daddy, several mamas, and several babies. And so anyway, we're just having a magical experience right now. So far, we're seeing mostly kudos, impalas, and warthogs. Now, Snow spotted a elephant off in the distance. We weren't able to get a camera on, but it is just wonderful to be on a self-drive out here in the wild.
We have spotted some elephants, several little babies. I think a baby's even getting some milk right now from mama. They're kind of camouflaged behind some bushes here. Oh, how incredible is this, guys? I don't necessarily see a big one. So maybe this is just, oh, there's a bigger one there in the background. Oh, the little baby has tusks, and he's using his trunk to reach up into the trees. Oh, wow. He can't quite reach the leaf he wants. I can't even tell how many there are. They're so camouflaged.
At that age, they're still learning how to use their trunk.
Oh, he got it. He was able to pull it down. I think there's 2 babies in this group. But we got a nice shot of that little guy.
That's the only one I can really see.
Oh, we might need to move, Curt. She's telling us to move. Ears out is defensive.
I don't have the,
You don't have what?
I'm as far away.
I'm pocketing them. Curt.
Yeah.
You see him, right? Back up. Please back up now. That's what he's telling us to do. That's the dad. Okay. Holy cow. We just saw an elephant family right by the road.
There was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 babies, was there?
Oh, it was incredible.
Look at them right there. They're walking single file.
There they go. Oh. That's when you kind of don't even know if you're holding the camera straight. You're doing the best you can because you're just watching, guys. I hope we captured it. The whole family crossed the road right in front of us. I got a little scared at the end because it looked like the last one was going to stop and maybe he wanted us to move a little bit. But did you see those babies?
Wow, that was absolutely incredible.
So cool. All right, let's keep going. A whole family of elephants. Get them all up in there, Curt. There's tons of them.
Oh, he's taking a poo.
Look at their little baby horns. What's this in the road in front of us?
Warthog.
Yeah. It's a big one.
Video protected.
I don't know. Pull in and turn around. It's still in there. Here. Stop here so we got some sort of view. And if you gotta back up farther, he's walking backwards. So we gotta go back to the main road. If you can get there. Okay, back up about 15 more feet and then you're gonna okay, stop. We're gonna wait for him to come through here.
All right, guys, we have our first lion spotting of the day. And I think G-Money smells him. But anyway, we definitely saw a few cars, and so they slowed down in front of us. And we haven't seen really too much grouping all day today. This was the first time. And Snow spotted it, and we were able to back up and get a little angle on it. Now, it was a female lion, I believe. She did have a tracker on her, and we were able to get a little shot of her before she dipped behind the trees. And so we're kind of sitting here waiting. We hear there's 2 of them, a male and a female, but they've kind of dipped back in the woods and we don't see them. So we're just kind of sitting here waiting to see if they kind of move a little bit and show their heads again.
All right, we caught a glimpse of the female, which we've already told you, but our patience paid off. We got a couple of glimpses of the male. A few times he'd pop his head up and look right at us, but then he'd lay back down or roll over, just disappear into the bush and the grass. But you never, ever get tired of seeing a lion in the wild. Unbelievable. But it's time to move on. We still haven't seen the buffalo, and that's something we were hoping for in this park. And we think we're getting close to the end where you turn around and kind of head back out towards the exit. So let's go looking for some buffalo or anything.
Might see some hippos out there too.
Yeah, we're getting down by the water.
Awesome. You can see a big herd of elephant down by the water. I think we're just down in the water. Oh, there's a little teeny tiny baby there.
Or you're gonna see him in your original spot you're filming. There's a baby. And they're still over here by the river up here. Okay, we're at the end.
Okay, I know. Okay, go.
We are to the point in the video where the crab hits the fan. We're on this beautiful, beautiful wildlife self-drive through this Buffalo National Park. We've seen amazing elephant sightings today, so many different types of deer and all sorts of stuff, and it's just been wonderful. And the map, to be honest, is a little bit iffy on where to turn and how to turn. And we turned towards where we thought was going to be the Buffalo, Cape Buffalo Welcome Station, which is kind of down at the end of the road where you turn around. Obviously, that's not where we turned, and somehow we ended up on what is marked as the 4x4 road on the map, and it is sugar sand. And as we were going, we've been through a few sugar sand patches, but they were only like 100 feet or so, and you make it through them no problem. What's up? Oh, we're going back in. But we got on this one section, and it just kept going and going, and both of us kind of started to have a little bit of a sick feeling in our stomach. And then it got to a point where it was just really deep sugar sand, and the sides of the roads were impossible to pull off on. We were desperately looking for a place to turn around, but we were in a situation where we could not stop, or we were just going to sink. If you've ever been in sugar sand, you know the best thing to do is just keep going. Don't even slow down. But then we came around the corner, and there was 2 trucks in front of us stopped in the middle of the road in the sugar sand. Now, at first, we were like, what are these guys doing? And then later we realized they were just trying to decide which way to go at the fork in the road. So it wasn't their fault, but it caused us to stop. And when we stopped, we sank. And we sank bad and got buried in our sugar sand. We were already in 4-wheel drive. We put it in low to try to get out. Some of this is filmed, some of it isn't, because it was really kind of a stressful time. So if it's the part that we were able to film, you're seeing it while we're talking.
Did the tires spin?
Curt got the shovel out, started doing some digging, and it just, we could move 3 or 4 feet, and then we would just bounce down and plow and barrel back down into the deep sand, and we just couldn't make any headway. Finally, we got far enough where we were able to claw off on a little bit of hard sand, and from there we had to kind of figure out what to do. We had several options, but most of them included going into really deep sugar sand. We ended up deciding to pull up on this hard piece of ground and try to turn around. Now you need to remember this thing is 23 feet long. So doing a 3-point turn, in our case, is like a 25-point turn, and it was still almost impossible. Curt had to get out the axe and actually chop down a few very small trees. We managed to get out of there. We gunned it through, we made it, and we were doing good. We were going. We'd made it maybe 200 or 300 feet. We thought we were going to be able to keep our momentum, but we hit a super deep spot and we just sank, guys. And there was no getting out of it. We tried digging out. We could go again 3 or 4 feet, right, Curt? And we just barrel down. Now all this time, Curt is the one out digging with the shovels, and hold on, cute warthogs right in front of us. Even in the stressful times, wildlife will always make us stop and put the camera on them. You guys should have come and helped pull us out. Anyway, we ended up having to deploy the winch and tie it onto trees.
Now, let me say this.
Yeah, Curt can take over here.
Well, I don't need to take over. Oh, something big just jumped over there.
There's huge warthogs.
But what I will say is, there were people on the track, 4x4s, that had proper truck to be on that road. We had no business being on that road, and it snow set once we started going. But anyway, the people were kind and helped, and after a while, it was just time to pull out the winch as snow set, and we were able to winch forward about 50 feet, but we were still in the sugar stand, so we hooked it up to another tree and winched a little forward. And to be honest with you, the other people just didn't think we were going to be able to get out, so they went up to the ranger station to get some help. Meanwhile, we stayed back and just kept at it, hooking one tree to the next. At one point, the next tree was so far off I had to get out our tow strap, and you know, I really need to learn my knots because I wasn't tying right knots, and that caused me to have some binding on that. And a nice guy showed me some knots to tie that were better for the application. But anyway, we used the tow strap, and we're able by that method, able to get close enough to another tree and towed it up, and we able to get up on the side of the road in some grass and stuff like that, and we got enough momentum, and this time we just gunned it, and we just went for it, and we didn't slow down, and we just went, and we went, and it was nail biting, and it was bouncy, and it was bumpy, and we just kept gritting our teeth and going. And Snow's like, go, go, and normally Snow would be like, slow down, slow down. She's like, go, go, and we're just going, and it was like,
Good job. Don't slow down. It's just a tree. It's okay. It's okay.
Video protected.
what junction was that?
I don't know. I thought the other one went to the water, but maybe not.
That was the spot where we missed, but we should have turned around right there.
You think?
Guys, it was really intense because you're not supposed to get out here because there's lions everywhere.
Yeah, I was about to get to that. The whole time Curt is out there dealing with tying his knots and the winch, and when you put the winch in, you got to guide the ropes and all that stuff. He's totally focused on the van. What he didn't know is that I was in here totally focused on the bush around him, watching for any movement, prepared to yell and tell him, get in the van, get in the van. Because there are literally lions. We saw them this morning. You know there's lions. There's lions, there's leopards, there's cheetahs.
There's big elephants,
yeah,
there's hippos.
Yeah, and I knew that it might be in the back of his mind, but his focus was getting us out of here, because this is the last place you want to spend the night. But we did it. Curt did it. Curt got us out. Some guidance from some nice other travelers helped us in a few situations.
We made it out, but as soon as we got out, Snow's like, don't stop, just go. And I'm like, I need to breathe. And right where we stopped, there was a bunch of monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's anything that can help reset, and
look,
elephants walking across the road.
No, don't go up on the elephants. Let them cross the road.
Elephants crossing the road as we speak.
Here comes a car.
Oh,
stop, there's more elephants, so stop. Oh, wow.
What a magical place, guys.
Guys, we still got about an hour to get out of this park, but the rest of the roads, there's a couple of rough spots, but they're doable. And Curt said, a bad day on the wildlife drive is better than a good day in an office. And I agree. So we're going to go settle in. Curt needs to take a shower and get up in the bed and rest his old man bones. We'll see you guys in a few days.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys.